Welcome to the Choose to Live show with your host, Shaneequa Cohen. It's time to propel, launch, and execute your dream. Now here to motivate, support, and influence you live from Dover, Delaware, Shaneequa Cohen.
Hello, influencers. Hello, and welcome to the Choose to Live show. It's your girl here, Shaneequa Cohen. I want to welcome you to an amazing segment. It's another phenomenal show that we have ready for you on today. We have an amazing guest here with us on today. Listen. Today's show is going to be phenomenal. So I am super excited to be before you one more time on the Choose to Live show with your girl, Shaneequa Cohen. Listen, we got a guest. All right. But before we get into that, I want you to know that this is the show to uplift, inspire, and influence you to propel, launch, and execute your dreams. This is the show where we invite you to be liberated, improve daily, be vivacious, and enlightened. So listen, if you are new to our show, welcome. Welcome, influencers. Welcome, leaders and visionaries. If you are an aspiring entrepreneur or if you are new and up and coming in the marketplace, this is the show for you. Even if you are that person, if you don't know what your purpose is, you're still trying to figure it out, this is the show for you. I want to welcome you to Choose to Live today. Choose to be liberated, improve daily, be vivacious, and enlightened. So listen, this is what we have in store for you on today. We have a phenomenal guest. She goes by the name of Shaneequa Billups. She is one of our co-contributors in our third anthology, Influencers on the Rise. So it is my pleasure and my honor to introduce her to this platform. She's going to be sharing with us her story and her message. So I am super excited about today's show. Allow me to introduce her. All right, Shaneequa is the proud owner of You versus You Health and Fitness. She is a national certified surgical technologist, certified personal trainer, and certified nutrition coach. She is dedicated to educating the community on the value of healthy living. Whether you are starting out or you want to take your fitness to the next level, You versus You Fitness specializes in developing the skill to focus and achieve your health goals with nutrition tips, extraordinary excursions, and 7 mindful principles to excel in a fitness challenge. Shaneequa is ready to serve ambitious individuals to ignite and develop the skills to focus and achieve their health and well-being goals with a healthy lifestyle. She understands it is not about being skinny, but healthy. Embrace who you are today as you choose to grow and create the lifestyle you desire. In the words of Shaneequa Billups, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you Shaneequa Billups. Welcome.
Hello, how are you, Shaneequa?
I am doing great. It is such a privilege and an honor to have you on our show today. Welcome to the Choose to Live show.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's definitely a pleasure and an honor to be here. I'm excited.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you. So listen, influencers, she is a co-contributor in our 3rd edition anthology, Influencers on the Rise, How to Thrive Against Adversity. So Shaneequa, share with us your story. What is your story? Give us some of the background behind this phenomenal biography that I just read.
Well, honestly, it started about 4 years ago when my youngest daughter lost her father. He died from brain aneurysm and a stroke and went into a coma at 39 years old. And I felt like he was too young to have any of those issues, which was caused by high blood pressure. So once that happened, I was like, okay, Shaneequa, you need to get your health in order. Your health needs to be your first priority. Your daughter cannot lose another parent. And at that moment of the day of his funeral, I said, yes, my health is my first priority. And that's what I started doing from that point on. I started eating right. I started exercising and back and forth because, nobody's perfect. You're not going to stay on this track. 100% of the time. So I was up and down, up and down. I really got serious about March 2017. And from then on, it's just been health, exercising, eating right, keeping my kids focused and doing that, and staying focused on every aspect of my life, because it was at that moment I realized tomorrow's really not promised to us. So um, in March, I was introduced to Herbalife products, and it helps you gain weight as well if that's what you want. But I wanted it to lose weight. So with those products, I went to lose 35 pounds. I've maintained that 35 pound weight loss for the last 3 years or so. And once that happened,
Congratulations.
thank you. So once I started getting results, I said, this is my way of helping people other than being in an operating room. I got into the business, into Herbalife as an Herbalife distributor. And then I felt like I wanted to do more. I needed to know more. I needed some type of education to have people all over the world to say, okay, she knows what she's talking about. I'm going to follow her. I'm going to listen to her. I want her to be my coach, my personal trainer. So I went on to pay for my own education to become a certified personal trainer and a certified nutrition coach. And it just continued from that point on. It took me about 6 months because it's at your own pace. And I was working full time, kids and everyday life. So it took me about between 6 and 8 months, but I did it. So I'm super excited that I've been a certified personal trainer since then, nutrition coach. I've gained clients, and I started a part-time journey of being an entrepreneur, even though it was definitely something different and it was scary because it's like full-time work, every 2 weeks a paycheck, entrepreneur. Like, you have to be focused, you have to be consistent, you have to be determined in order to get where you want to be in life, and see that you're helping people, and also see, revenue come in from what you're doing to help people. And it's just been that ever since. My daughter got into it. She started doing CrossFit. She slimmed out, got healthier, got taller. And I seen my kids take on my habits. So that made me super, super duper excited. I wanted to open up my own nutrition club and fitness studio. So that's part of how You versus You was born.
Yes. Oh my goodness, Shaneequa. Listen, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for your contribution in our third edition anthology, Influencers on the Rise. Listen, I could take away so many things that you said, and I definitely can connect with you in regards to just how you got started in business. Sometimes things can happen in our personal lives that will trigger us into purpose. It will trigger us into being able to identify with something that causes passion and purpose to arise within us. And so I thank you for just sharing your story, because our health is important, and I have been inconsistent within my own health. But I would like for you to share with us, what can our readers expect from your contribution in this anthology? What can they expect from reading your chapter?
You could definitely expect a connection. I feel as though what I've done, what I've said, that many people, women and men, are going to feel like they connecting, that they may have the same similar situation, that they can connect, and they will know that, well, if she made it through all of the adversity, everything that she's gone through in the process of still going to school to be a surge tech, becoming a single mother of 3 kids, losing your place, losing your car, lost, and still staying focused on going to school, paying for it in the midst of the IRS garnishing my wages. Like, so everything that I put out there, I put my message out there, and I do believe that a lot of people are going to resonate with me. So there's tips in there, there's strategies in there, there's resources in there as far as how I did it, how I strategized, what my thoughts were, and to put it into it, to put all of your energy and your thought process in a better place. And it's laid out so somebody can get a pen and paper and say, what can I do to change? What do I need to do? What are my goals? Here are the resources that are already here that I did not know about because I didn't ask for help, or I didn't want to see it because I was afraid of the stereotype of social services or needing assistance. So I have a little bit of, it was a push. It was a push for me. So I hope me opening up lets everybody know that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to ask for help. And through it all, you still have to stay focused and determined to get to where you want to be, in a place so you don't have to keep going through these things.
Absolutely. I mean, you're sharing with us very personal stories of how you are a single mother and you're paying your way through college. Let's go back to that. I want you to take us there. Like, how were you feeling and how were you able to really triumph through that? Because I'm a single mother and I'm a single mother of 4 children now. But when I was in college, I had 3 children at the time. I can only imagine what you were going through as well. I know what that looks like. I know what that feels like. But for someone who doesn't, please walk us through that journey, because a lot of times people can look at your success. You're a certified surgical technician, but they didn't know the struggle it got to, what it took to get to that place. So
Right.
Please walk us through that, because I want the readers to really take away the experience and how you were able to triumph through that experience, because they can do it too.
Oh man. It was definitely a trying time. So in the beginning, becoming a surge tech, I was in my own place when I first started surge tech school. And in the middle of it, I lost my place. I had to move. I had to move back home with 3 kids. And that's what I was 28 years old. Who wants to move back home with 3 kids to their mom's house? So I still had to stay in school, move back home with my mom and 3 kids, and deal with somebody else's household, somebody else's problems, rules, dysfunction, everything. So all of that on top of a grown woman just lost her place. She can't provide for her own kids. Like those were the things I was thinking about going through all that. So I just had to put my pride to the side, suck it up, go back home to mom's house, deal with the dysfunction, the everything that I knew was coming to get through school. Because I knew once I got through school and I became a surge tech, that was going to be my career for as long as I wanted to stay there. That was going to set me up to be financially okay.
Yes.
So I finished that, but 2 months after I lost my place and I was home at my mom's, my truck got repossessed. So you lost your place, your truck was taken, and you still had to stay focused. Like I couldn't get deterred from what I was trying to do. So it was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of stress. I could honestly say at that point, that year, I can honestly say I was depressed. And I got to the point where it was like I didn't care. I done lost everything. Like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? I'm doing something wrong I didn't know. I couldn't turn to family because they dysfunctional. They can't give me advice. They can't give me advice on how to get my life together. Because, so I had no one to turn to. So at this moment, I was like, okay, forget everything. forget it. I don't want to do it no more. I don't want to go to school. I'm not going to try to work part-time on the weekend. I can't. So I stopped taking my medication. I was diagnosed with epilepsy at 15. So I've been taking medication since then. I stopped taking my seizure medication for a week because I said, forget it. I don't care. I'm tired, stressed, kids, everything. At the end of that week, I ended up having a seizure. That was the first time my kids ever seen me have a seizure. When I was rushed to the hospital, like they seen the whole thing, me being rushed to the hospital, me having one. But when I got back, I realized that I was being selfish. I was being horrible at that moment, and I was being selfish and caring about myself and not my children. And they had to deal with something like that. They had to see me in that not mind frame, but they had to see me like that. They shouldn't have had to see me like that. So I switched my mindset after that point. And I started to just do everything I had to do, figure everything out, get help from outside people to get through it. You know, that's basically how I got through the surge check part, was to get through it. I got help from outsiders that wasn't my family. And then there was a point where my daughter's aunt and uncle invited us to come to church. So through all that dark time, it combines, and, you know, I had to come out of that dark place. I had to come out of that dark place because I was going to go nowhere but down, continue to go down if I stayed in that dark place. So we were invited to church. When we went to church that Sunday, and that service and that message, I knew I was missing something in my life. And I knew that it was God. So I started down that path. I stood up and said I wanted to be a part of the church. And I knew I needed that in my life. I knew I needed God in my life. So once I realized that and said that, accepted that, I started to heal.
Yes.
I started to heal. And then I just stayed focused, and I just, you know, whatever I had to do, however I had to do it, I did it, whether I wanted to ask for help or not, because I didn't want to ask for help. I was like, I'm grown. I can do this by myself. I don't want no help from nobody, because some people did not want to help that I felt should have helped. So I just said, I'm going to do it all on my own. But at the end of the day, you cannot do it on your own. It took me a very long time to realize I could not do it all on my own. So that took me into getting a new job after graduating. A new car came a week before I started a new job. So things started to roll, you know, fall into place, because I was like, how am I going to get to this new job? So it was tax time. I took that little bit of tax money. They gave me a car off of an offer letter, not even a pay stub. They gave me a car off of the money I put down in the offer letter. So I was like, okay, we're going to make the best out of the situation. Right. So my career went from being in the operating room, helping people with surgeries, all kinds of surgeries, to teaching as an instructor for surgical technology. I taught for 2 years, and I missed the hands-on. That's the only reason why I left being a teacher is because I needed my hands-on. I needed to be a part of that physical surgery, you know what I mean? Helping people in that manner. Now I help people, I taught people. I could say I brought about 15 surge techs into the world. I taught them, they got certified, and they're working individuals in the world, you know, all over the place. So I did help in that and impact in other people's lives as well, but I needed that physical in the operating room. Now to where personal training came in, the IRS started garnishing my wages because I owed them from previous years. COVID hit and they hit at the same time. Like that's how last March was. COVID hit, and then the IRS started hitting me at the same time. So picture you, it's Friday, and you're getting ready to get paid, and you're expecting a $1,900 check, and you see 300. You see $300 and you expecting a $1,900 paycheck. So that's what happened. From March to the end of June, they took $1,600 out of every single paycheck until they was done getting the money that I owed them. So I don't know how. I honestly, my hand to God, I don't know how I paid for my school for personal training and nutrition coach. I don't know how I paid you as my business coach. I just don't. I honestly don't, because I was working off of $600 a month, and I was at this time I was in my own place again, and I had bills, rent $1,400, all these other bills. But this is I stayed focused.
Right.
I could have easily broke down, lost it. Like I could have easily said, I'm not dealing with this again. But I had my moments. I definitely had my moments, and I had my best friend's ear that I cried to, and I got through it. From her to certain family members, certain coworkers. I didn't see that I was going to get through it in the beginning, but they always say you're going to get through it. This too shall pass, and the end will come out better. So it was definitely hard to stick to that, like to just hear it and be okay with it, give it to God and not worry.
Right.
It was really hard to do that because I need I need to make sure I'm doing to make the situation better. But overall, I got through it. I finished school. I sacrificed. I went without.
Yes.
But at the end, now I have my own business. I have multiple certifications, and I'm trying to set myself up and use resources to get me out there in the community for people to know who I am, so I can continue to help my community with their health and wellness. So that was my end goal, to be my own boss, to have my own business, and to help as many people in the community get healthy, stay healthy, and live a long, healthy life.
Yes. Listen here, influencers, get into it. Get into it, because listen, you're very, I thank you for being transparent. Thank you for allowing yourself to open up in such a vulnerable space to talk about. Because a lot of times we will hide behind our positions, our titles, our roles. And listen, I know that to be true because I was that girl. Listen, a woman in ministry, married to the co-pastor, and but I was dying on the inside, but yet I could preach and I could prophesy a word to everybody else, but I was desolate. So listen, I want to thank you openly. Thank you for just sharing.
Of course.
Sharing and being transparent in your delivery, because I was just listening to how you were sharing your story, and you took us to those vulnerable places. And I believe it was your faith that you chose to stay focused, you chose to stay committed, and allow God to work the miracle. Because that's exactly what happened. He worked a miracle within your life, and all you had to do was remain focused and committed to your goals.
Yes.
So I thank you. So listen, here on the show, we do have a trivia game that we play with all of our guests. It's just 3 fun facts that we like to ask all of our guests on the show. And so you are no different. We're going to just be talking. Well, we're going to be asking you a few questions. So the first question, what is your favorite song?
Oh, my favorite song. It's an old song, and people are gonna say, "What? Why are you listening to that?" It's My Girl. It's My Girl from the Temptations. I'm always listening to Motown, especially at work in the operating room, we get to play music, and they always say, Shaneequa, what you want to hear? And I tell them Motown, and it just lifts my spirit. So really anything from Motown around that time. But my girl, I really like my girl.
Okay, listen, she went real old school on us, okay? So we 80s babies, okay? All right. So Shaneequa, tell us your favorite color.
Red.
Red. Listen, air high five, okay? Because red is my favorite color too. Okay, get into it. All right. Okay, so when was your last trip and where did you go?
My last trip. A long trip that I was in New Orleans last summer. Now,
Okay.
every now and then I try to do weekend getaways, but an actual vacation, I went to New Orleans for Herbalife Nutrition Convention last summer for about a week. Seminars and information being taught, how to do things, being taught what other people have done so we can duplicate it in our business. But it was a business trip, but it was definitely fun. I was with my team and some friends, and we worked and then we played later. So it was definitely nice because I've never been to Louisiana.
Yes, I have never been to. Nope, I'm lying. I have. Okay, but that's not the point. The point is, I took a nugget from you just sharing that tidbit of information. We have to learn to make investments in our gift. God gives us the gift.
Mhm.
He gives us the talent, but we have a responsibility to master that gift.
Yes.
We have a responsibility to master that craft. So we got to position ourselves to make investments. And one thing that I've heard you say, you were making investments within your career. You were making investments of your time to remain focused. You could have been doing everything and anything, but you chose to remain focused. You could have been going anywhere, doing anything. And so influencers, listen, invest in your gift, invest in your craft, make time to be the priority. Make
Yes.
time to be the priority. Make time to put you on the calendar because you matter. Make time for you. I
If
felt
you
that in
don't,
my
no one
spirit.
else will.
Absolutely. Say it again.
If you don't, no one else will.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, influencers. So listen, there you have it. We have the phenomenal guest here, Shaneequa Billups. She again is our co-contributor in our third edition anthology, Influencers on the Rise. So listen, I want you to stay tuned for our upcoming book. All right, we are going to be publishing and launching our book come June of this year. So stay tuned, influencers. Listen, Shaneequa, share with the guests how they can connect with you on social media, how they can connect with you if they have questions or just want to work with you. How can they connect with you?
So my name is Shaneequa Billups on Facebook. I'm S Billups 33 on Instagram. My email is below sbillups at youversusyou.me. And those are three different ways that you can reach out to me. On a messenger as well, you can contact me there, and then we can set up an appointment so we can talk about your goals and what you would like for me to help you with.
Absolutely. Get into it. You versus you, health and fitness. Listen, and I'm not just saying this because she's my client. Listen, but she is very dedicated and committed to helping you get healthy, not skinny, but get healthy. Get your confidence to a place where you're secure in who you are and where you are right now. So get into you versus you, okay? Fitness and wellness. Again, influencers, we want to know how you felt about today's show. So go ahead and comment below or go to ladyannikastewart.com. Let us know what you thought about today's show, influencers. And don't forget to choose to what? Live. All right.
Have a good night.